Here we go.
Come out and face me, Wriothesley!
Are they gonna fight?
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management regulations?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place altogether. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. That means Lynette is probably still alive.
Oh, this is intense.
You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation, just so that you'd be able to kidnap Lynette. As for Freminet, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted into your ranks.
There was no need to do so. The Fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas. It was quite easy to identify your colleagues.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Freminet has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and so in control, why would you need hostages?
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Freminet is not.
Yeah, so where is Freminet?
He's not. What do you really want?
Lyney!
Uh-oh.
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once.
No.
Thank you so much for cooperating with me.
Where are Lynette and Freminet?
Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress's finest tea.
Is he bad? Is he like... Has he like taken control of the fortress? Like he's still a criminal?
Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Freminet should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of custody. So where do you think he may be right now?
Wait, you can't mean...
Where?
You locked him outside in the sea?
No way!
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world.
What?
That's all.
What the?
Freminet's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
No way. I did not expect this.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Lyney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to negotiating. Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was in a personal or a professional capacity. Well, you got your wish.
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before
Wow.
we even set foot in the fortress.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight with you. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of that changed.
So you know about the Forbidden Zone?
Mr. Lyney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Freminet is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever.
Wow.
You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, If she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening.
Why would he want to see her?
I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection. I was looking forward to sharing it with her. Both Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Freminet have already received many samples as gifts.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest in the fortress's secret?
I kind of feel like some sort of fight is about to happen. Wriothesley is going to get very, very impatient.
Mr. Lyney, you have one last chance to invite your father here.
Up.
If you refuse...
I knew it.
Lyney!
Why do you have to do this?
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, the Fatui has been actively infiltrating my fortress. I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Freminet left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how you look at it, the responsibility for this falls on you.
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6, 5...
He's counting down.
Wait,
2, 1.
Oh no.
Time's up. It really is a shame, Mr. Lyney.
Wriothesley!
Negotiations have broken down.
What?
Please leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my afternoon tea.
Oh, I do not like Wriothesley. That is so dirty. Oh my gosh. Oh, please wait. Can we really not talk about this some more?
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't talk to Lyney, can you at least talk to us?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws.
Please spare Freminet and Lynette.
Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found,
Okay, yeah, that's easy.
I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request.
Oh no, please. I don't want to, I hope I don't actually have to make the correct answers.
Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the
Yes.
production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
I can't believe he's asking about the hidden rules. If I recall correctly, if you keep working without any rest during lunch hour on the 3rd day, you will find a portion of strange meat in your welfare meal. It's a good thing that we've already run a thorough investigation on this. Let's see if I can remember all the clues. I should be able to find an answer if I can piece everything together.
Ah, so that's what's going on. Paimon understands it now. Who would have guessed? The hidden rule of the production zone.
Yes!
People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row, and if they do, they'll get strange meat in their welfare meal. At first, we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared, but in reality, they were all prepared by Sijuin, the head nurse. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of work. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sigeween visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish for those who can use the stamina boost.
Okay.
Sigeween has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want anyone to find out about what she does. However, unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and their sense of aesthetics is even more alien to us. The recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals cannot taste the care within and usually just freak out. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sigeween's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's nice to know that her efforts have not gone unacknowledged. All right, now for my next question.
All right.
There
Lay
are
it on
also
me.
some hidden rules in the Pancration Ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight.
Right.
Why is that?
The hidden rules of the Pancration Ring. I remember. If someone tries to support both boxers at the same time, they'll receive a package the next morning which contains a strange blood-colored liquid. I've also done a lot of research on this matter. Let me sift through what I've found and come up with the correct answer.
Paimon gets this rule too now. So
Okay.
there really was nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah, not at all.
That hidden rule of the Pancration Ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet on both boxers at the same time. And if they do, they'll receive a package containing a strange blood-colored liquid. People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fanta trial product. A blood-red drink. It's no wonder even Fanta's own staff were questioning the company's decision-making. The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product on a smaller scale to see how it might be received by customers. They came to the fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Pancration tournament so they could push their new product. But the Duke completely refused to even entertain the idea.
I mean, he's got to be impressed, right? We've done a good job investigating.
The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand their true value would bother buying a Fanta product here. And so, only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same match were selected to receive the drinks.
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this
Yes.
mystery to light.
No problem.
Although, based on your description, that Fanta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company.
Wow, okay.
All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Oh, do we know this one? Yeah, we haven't collected enough info to answer that question.
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Wriothesley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question.
Uh-oh.
The thought of sparing Lynette and Freminet never even crossed your mind.
Lyney!
You'll pay for this!
Oh, he's attacking Wriothesley?
Ah!
What the heck? What did he just get hit with?
Lyney, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sigeween. That was a fantastic shot.
Sigeween did that?
It was nothing, Your Grace. Sigeween? Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully functional, as I just demonstrated.
Sigeween. You...
Are you his accomplice in all this?
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is my duty. When Monsieur Nervulette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here. I am merely discharging my duties. But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Lyney someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us?
If you're close with Neuvillette, why not learn a thing or two about virtue from him?
But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulette told me to do. Everything
them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits right now. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace? Mind proving my innocence to them?
Yeah, but what about Freminet literally trapped right now at the bottom of the sea?
My dear Sigewinne, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense into you.
What are you talking about? What time?
Take me if you want. But let them go.
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Why is he stalling?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time now.
Who?
I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigewinne, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
What are you doing?
Was that all dramatics?
I believe I hear footsteps.
Who's coming through the door? Oh my gosh. The door suddenly slams open. A familiar figure bursts into the room.
Some space,
Clorant!
please.
Ah, Miss Clorant. My door.
Freminet!
Freminet. Freminet.
Still alive. I see his head moving.
What's going on? What is Clorant doing here?
Work.
Oh, okay. Short and sweet. I love it.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Lyney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Freminet? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like this?
These symptoms. It can't be.
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
No.
What did you say?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Freminet a more thorough checkup. Your Grace, I'll leave the rest to you.
I'll talk to Clorant while you get Freminet to where he needs to be.
Where?
Everything else can wait.
Well, where is the primordial seawater? What? Lyney's expression looks disgusted. It seems like he'd rather not have Sigewinne touch Freminet. Still, he didn't stop her, since it's obvious that Freminet does require urgent medical care. Sigewinne's examining Freminet carefully. She doesn't look too upset, which is a good sign. I hope Freminet will be okay.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Still, his condition is not critical.
Oh my.
Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now, and move him to the infirmary once he's recovered a bit more. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have a single clinic in the fortress, however.
I was kind of afraid that I was going to go to a cutscene and the Freminet was going to turn into water, and I probably would have bawled my eyes out. So I'm glad that didn't happen.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress? How could that possibly happen?
Right.
Please, look after Mr. Freminet for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe me, but His Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea for her.
Oh, so Wriothesley isn't like a psycho, thankfully. Oh my gosh. Lyney finally has begun to stop tensing the muscles on his face. Seems that he trusts that what Sigewinne just said. Woo! Okay, that got a little intense there.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sigewinne may have been forced to shoot Mr. Lyney again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly.
Around the prison?
I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time, well, you can see how that boy's doing.
So they saved him.
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Oh my.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
Well, you sounded like a psycho there for a minute, Wriothesley. Jeez.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Not
He
particularly.
loves tea, huh?
If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
Oh man, that was crazy.
Lyney, are you okay?
I'll be fine. They're all here now. Don't worry about me.
Are you sure? You don't look all right.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual effects of the tranquilizer shot.
I'm back, everyone.
Oh, there's Lynette.
Lyney! Oh, Traveler, Paimon, you're here too.
Oh, ooh.
Freminet? Is he... He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
Lenny and Lynette immediately come to lift Freminet up. Oh, poor Freminet.
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette, together?
On it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
Yeah, very well.
The Duke and Clarande are gone.
Yeah, they're going to drink tea.
They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clarande will need a break, since she only just returned from rescuing Freminet out of the sea.
Clarande saved Freminet from the sea. Just what happened there? Oh,
He's awake. Freminet, how do you feel?
Lyney,
poor Freminet.
Lynette,
We're all here.
where am I?
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Freminet. And you are no longer in any danger.
Good, good, good.
How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler, Paimon, it's been so long.
Yeah, too long.
The sea, there's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater.
How is that happening?
I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it.
What happened after you snuck into the pipes?
Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
Is somebody feeding like primordial seawater into the ocean? What is going on?
I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned.
I wonder if we're gonna play as Freminet.
Where could Master Child be?
Oh yeah, where is Child? Wriothesley didn't say anything about Child. Yep, okay. I like this music. Oh, man. That is one thing.
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
That is one thing about the Fontaine Archon quest, is that I literally have no idea where this story is going. With the other ones, I could kind of like make some guesses here and there, and but I don't have any guesses for this Archon quest, and that is really good. I love the fact that I can't figure out where the story is going. Because, you know, sometimes when you're watching a movie or a TV show, you start picking up on things, and you're like, oh, okay, I know how this is going to end.
It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
All right, so we need to lower it and then turn it. There we are. That's what I'm talking about. We got it. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Oh boy, oh boy. There we go. We haven't done much fighting in this Archon quest. That just shows how good the writing is. When you don't need to kind of, you know, use combat as a crutch to fill in the story. It's like this has just been pure story, and I am in love with it.
Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well.
Uh-oh. I mean, the good thing is, Child is from Snezhnaya. So, the primordial seawater shouldn't really affect him. Freminet, on the other hand, clearly is affected.
The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in the right direction. There are traces here too. I need to keep going.
All right, keep going.
Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here.
Maybe up?
Wait. What the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on?
Oh my gosh.
No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Oh, and he blacked out. Nope. Oh my. How scary. So Clarande, I wonder if she is on...
I can't die here. This is bad. I'm feeling worse and worse, and I'm still underwater.
It's like, even though I know he lives, this is just still so intense.
I have to push on.
Oh no, he does. He passes out. Thank goodness for Clarande. Wow.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. But there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going. I probably passed out some time after that.
Man.
And you know the rest.
That was so scary.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Oh yeah, why is she here?
Miss Clarande, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You're still too weak, Freminet. You can go after you've had some more rest. Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Wriothesley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me.
Got it. I'll go talk to him.
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Lyney?
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Yeah, understandable.
Lyney.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Grave danger.
Understood. Then let's just sit together for a while.
Well, Freminet. Lynette, not so much.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Thank you.
So the question is, why is Clarande here? Why did Wriothesley invite her down here? And now she's going to be staying for a few days.
Excuse me?
I take it Mr. Freminet's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Sigewinne?
I wanted to check up on Miss Clarande. How are you feeling?
She's so sweet.
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind,
I can't believe I thought
I'd like
she
to
was,
perform another quick physical
bad.
exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now then.
Bye.
Well, want to explain yourself, Wriothesley?
Yeah.
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten?
Please enlighten us as much as you'd like.
Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can
Okay.
start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
All right.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lyney's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals.
Why didn't you stop them?
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Lyney suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance.
Yeah, but why was he down here, though?
I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
Smart.
So you were hoping Lyney's group would just do your work for you?
Yep, sounds about right.
You make it sound like that's a bad thing.
Is he related to
Unfortunately,
Lisa?
things didn't go as planned. I assume that Freminet has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise.
Yeah, why is that?
The Forbidden Zone has always been Lyney's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true that you're also a former criminal?
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself?
Yeah.
Another form of prison?
Fair point.
I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right.
Didn't really answer,
I
but
wanted to ask, who invited Clorant down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Freminet was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already.
so the Forbidden Zone really exists?
That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Freminet.
But we don't know where he is,
Something
though.
wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
Right.
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yes.
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant?
Oh no. Yes?
Follow me.
Uh-oh. Now I am scared. Where is he taking us? Oh, we're going into the Forbidden Zone right now? Oh, the Forbidden Zone is in his office. Should have known. Oh, okay. Nice. Oh, I'm
There's
scared.
a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Wriothesley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
I'm nervous. What is at the bottom of these stairs? Secret keepers. Uh-oh.
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or...
Oh! We're going down even further? How far down does this place go?
So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special.
And that is...
What a huge door!
the heck?
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
So there are 3 doors. So is this kind of like a super villain? What is behind these 3 doors? I'm so nervous.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Who is behind the door?
Whoa. They all just went up one by one.
What's that in the middle of the room?
Go on, have a look.
You better not lock us in there. Okay, you're coming with us. Oh, this is spooky. This is spooky. This room is really empty with nothing in here, which is quite strange on its own. There's also a device smack dab in the middle of the room, which looks like some kind of massive sluice gate.
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past
It's
year,
a meter.
the needle has crept upwards from its original position. Likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally.
Is this like a pressure gauge?
Normally I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated.
Yep, I knew it.
Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
The water pressure?
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary.
What is it tracking?
The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all.
So what is it reading?
Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis.
Oh, so is it measuring the amount of primordial sea in the ocean?
Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that and the symptoms that Freminet displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
Okay.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
And that is precisely
Under
the
the
problem.
sea.
We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and
Right.
the concentration is steadily rising.
Primordial seawater is continually leaking into the sea?
Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
What?
Seems like you've figured it out.
Wait, I haven't.
I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate.
Oh.
For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us.
Oh.
The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands,
So
some
if this
primordial seawater
pops
has already
open-
leaked out and mixed into the sea around us.
So this is keeping the primordial seawater at bay?
If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
If this gate falls, all of Fontaine will fall with it.
Yeah, you know what the legends say.
Oh.
If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
Oh.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring.
Well, what is it?
It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense.
Huh.
What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold.
So this wasn't a prison before then?
Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the
So
fortress
that's when
as a
it
prison.
became a prison.
They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves.
Oh, okay.
But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent.
So does Neuvillette or Freminet or anybody else know about this place?
Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea.
Do you believe in prophecies?
To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate.
Oh my, could you imagine if Fontaine floods?
Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one
That
will
would
create
change
the
the
first
map,
wave
though.
of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third.
So as the Duke of Meropide, just what do you plan to do about it?
Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
Oh, you want to show me more?
This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing.
These
the
guys
results from our
researchers?
last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
They are researchers.
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
Yeah, definitely we are.
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
How about some
Thanks,
reintroductions?
guys.
This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from
Yep.
the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin?
Ed who?
He's the one who blew the whole institute sky high. Everyone knew he was a bit crooked in the head, but you're not a local, so I guess it's possible for you not to have heard of him.
Yeah, nope, never.
Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the Fortress of Meropide?
Wait, what?
What a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Making this place kind of like a cap on the Primordial Sea?
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
Was that really necessary?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Yes, they are.
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Enemies to lovers. It's gonna happen.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
After you?
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Whoa.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
I love how we just called her out for that.
But Paimon really
That's the
thinks
sea.
everything's super cool.
Oh, this reminds me of the scene from the Meg. Is this just a normal room?
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
Oh, what the? This is...
What a huge ship. This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
Yeah, why is a ship at the bottom of the ocean?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Not much.
Not much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king
Look at that
Wriothesley came
ship.
to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
A bunch of lore.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try.
I mean, that is a really cool looking ship.
So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Oh. If Fontaine floods, he has the ship. I see.
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster.
This is a plan for the ages. Can't you share your plan with everyone?
Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions?
Seems
Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back.
Okay. Wow. So essentially he's building an ark, which is very interesting. I don't see
I'll
Fontaine
leave you
flooding.
here for now.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
He means that my actions now will decide the next steps Lyney's group takes. In other words, if I want to tell Lyney the truth, I must make him understand that we cannot afford excessive conflict right now.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Yeah, we will.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
Not me. I'm nervous.
We're back!
Hi, guys.
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
Yeah, definitely.
You'd be so much like Wriothesley, always drinking tea.
Well, tea is good.
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
The love for tea.
Must have been Wriothesley and Seashween.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female, so it should have been the 2 of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
I really can't make sense of this place.
Yeah, me neither, Freminet.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Wriothesley?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he explained everything.
Here we go.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations?
Lyney sounds a lot more like his old self.
Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sejuin is also busy with something or other. So let's just talk here.
Are we going to tell him the whole truth?
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Freminet affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Mirapede.
Yep, you're right about that.
Whoa, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
That's our Lyney.
Secondly, Wriothesley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him.
2 for 2.
What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Wriothesley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Wriothesley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
Lyney's grasp of the big picture is amazing.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question. If Wriothesley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess.
Here we go.
You have the last piece of the puzzle.
After some deliberation, you share the information you just learned with Lyney. Okay? Interesting.
I can't believe it.
Now, how is that going to change the future?
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Could Wriothesley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Wriothesley have known that?
Or perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side, which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side.
I hope so.
The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
You have my gratitude.
Aw, thanks, guys.
Thank you for protecting Lyney when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
We can work together again if necessary.
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, we will try our best to protect you.
Aww, the sound of
This
that
is
makes
goodbyes?
Paimon feel all warm and safe inside.
Oh, we're in a prison. Where are they going? What was that?
Paimon's hungry.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Yeah, let's go eat.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
Yeah, bye, guys.